Big up. Welcome everyone. Liverpool 12-man show. This is a little bit before kickoff of this third place showing. I guess it's going to be an interesting one because I'm looking at the lineups. I don't know if you've seen the lineups already, but I'll bring up the lineups as well. Make it large for everyone. I want to say welcome everyone. Obviously, welcome back to Liverpool 12-man show, of course. And if you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family. And if you are one of our regulars, big up and welcome back. Welcome home, more likely. Yeah, I was looking at this lineup. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it. This is the England squad that they've come out with, and it's the French squad that they've come out with. It's very, very distinctly different because it looks like the French team is looking to go for the win. Not saying that the England squad isn't capable of winning, but you can see they've changed up their goalkeeper. Dean Henderson's in. Spence and Gahey and Kwanzaa is back in that right back role. Declan Rice and Eze make up the midfield with Rodgers and Saka on the right and Rashford on the left. And they have rather than Harry Kane, they have Ivan Toney getting the start up front. But for France, you have the regular squad basically. You have Doué and Mbappe and Elise and Raybold and Cherky and Zaire Emery. Ibu is in the lineup with Lacroix, Henderson, Hernandez, and Cousteau, and their regular goalkeeper in Magnon. So it is a weird one because I honestly did think, I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I thought that England was going to bring bring their normal squad. Basically, I thought they were going to go and try to. I'm not saying they're not trying to win this, but what I am saying is that this is definitely allowing for some players that maybe it might be their last opportunity to play in the World Cup. For Ivan Toney, for instance, it might be his last opportunity. I think that's about it, really. Everyone else is young enough probably to get to another World Cup, but it's an interesting twist. I don't know how you guys are feeling because it kind of threw me for a loop to see Ivan Toney there, and it threw me for a loop to see Dean Henderson at goalkeeping. This is the bench. Evening Highlore, evening. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Pretty deep bench that you can bring now to the World Cup. So you can bring 15 players on the bench. 15 players are on this bench. Long list of players. I guess the only one that's normally a starter that's not starting usually is Dembele. He's not starting this one. Barcola starts every once in a while. Just about it. I'd say that's about it. Barcola, Dembele, Kone starts every once in a while, but he's been coming off the bench. Koundé sometimes starts. Upamecano starts sometimes. Digne has been starting. I think he's been a kind of a downside too. I'm not a very big Lucas Digne fan. And I just think that he is he's had a poor to be honest with you, just keeping it 100. I think he's had a poor World Cup, to be honest with you. For a veteran that knows how to play. All the same. Big up everyone. Shout out to Red Armchair Supporter. It looks like we're getting a bunch of people joining the feed, and I appreciate that. We're already up to like 43 people, so that's big up to everyone joining us. Definitely big up to Red Armchair Supporter, big up to Highlord. If you're on X watching this, definitely say hello. Welcome aboard, obviously. The SS Mighty Red. We're still waiting for Lee to come up with a name for the yacht. So we've got it all rocking and rolling. It doesn't really look like it, High Lore. I mean, like to me, it's we have kickoff in 10 minutes. Um, I don't have any. I don't the feed or the coverage that I have doesn't start until apps doesn't start until 2 p.m. on or it doesn't start on to the top of the hour. So we're waiting. This I'm just waiting for the countdown to end, and we'll get it rocking and rolling. But you tell me, how do you feel? The library yacht. There you go. That's one. I like that. The library yacht. Um, how are you feeling about this? I mean, what do you think are England's chances? I mean, obviously England still have a very decent squad, even without some of their big hitters. And it's not like their big hitters aren't with them. I mean, Harry Kane, um, Nico O'Reilly, Harry Kane, because Nico O'Reilly has had a decent World Cup. Harry Kane, obviously Jude Bellingham. Um, Good to see Jordan Henderson on the bench. Anthony Gordon's had a very prosperous World Cup. Ollie Watkins hasn't really seen much time. I'm surprised he didn't get the start, to tell you the truth, if you're going to start someone different. But Ivan Toney's the one that he went with. Um, and Reece James. Reece James has gotten minutes. He's gotten quality minutes in this World Cup. Definitely so. Kane and Bellingham were well marshmallowed by Argentina. They were. I think that the the sense of attack was to, at least in my opinion, was to get under England's skin. And again, I've mentioned it before. I think that the one thing that you saw that maybe had some people scratching their head originally, but again, I think it made sense when you really look at it, and that is um, Simeone starting. When I saw Simeone in the lineup for Argentina, I was like, they are not looking to play beautiful football. They're looking to basically, really get at these players and go toe to toe with trying to get under the skin, play little dark tactics, dark arts, and get at them. You know what I had to? There's a great guy um, that sits near me here where I'm stationed in the dock, and um, he is, and it's great because one, I mean, like I'm excited about what happens with football in America. I'm hoping that we can take this and continue to bring in new fans, which I think we have, and I think also to maybe, obviously advance the sport. But one thing he said about England that was very noticeable too, and this is someone that's not necessarily the biggest football fan in the world, and that is something he said, and I'd love to hear your opinions on this. It was interesting because he said, he asked me, do you think the reason why England lost was because they had one of the most difficult runs in the sense of locations, not necessarily all opponents, but in locations. And I made me think, and I said to myself, well, you know what? That's a good question. Because if you really think about it, England had to play, and I'm just talking about the recent games to get into the semifinal and the quarterfinal. So I'm just talking about the quarterfinal and semifinal. Um, in those games, they had to play in Mexico, which is a very difficult place to play. They're playing at high altitude. They're playing against a team that's acclimated to it. They're playing against a very hostile crowd. And they played an entire matchup against them, a very long, full 90 against them. Um, then they had to go to Miami, and I don't know if you've ever been to Miami, Florida in the summertime, but there's reasons why people that live in Florida leave Florida during the summertime. And that's because it is humid as anything in Florida. So it is very humid, very hot. It's very uncomfortable. That was obviously the semifinal that they had to go up against. And Um, uh, it's a measure to say maybe he had a point. Maybe he had a slight point. I mean, it was not easy. It wasn't easy surroundings, locations to go through to get to where they wanted to be. And that is going to New York. Um, so it is a tough one to say, tough one to read. Um, let's see. Um, Team play in the World Cup is. I don't know what you're talking about. Uh, I don't know why you would think that Mexico was cheating. Look, I do not like Mexico. I don't know who. I know that I asked this question before in England. I asked what was England's rival, I guess, geographical rival when it comes to football, and I was told that Scotland, which is uniquely interesting because Scotland isn't very much a threat when it comes to going toe to toe with England for football purposes. I'd have to look up. I don't want to be. I love Scotland, so I don't want to be disrespectful to Scotland. Um, let's see. What is their head-to-head record in football? Um, they've played 116. So yeah, I stand corrected, and Scotland has done better than I thought they would have. England holds the advantage with 49 wins, but Scotland has won 41 times themselves. 41 times. Scotland has won 49 times. England has won, and there's been 26 draws. They've played 116 times. It's called the Auld Enemy rivalry, and it's the oldest in international football, dating back to their first meeting in 1872, November 30th, 1872. So if you ever get that question in a quizzo or something or a trivia game, you'll know November 30th, 1872 was their first matchup between England and Scotland. England won that matchup 3-1 at Hampton Park. Very interesting. But yeah, I was just wondering what it was. I would have thought that the record would have been much higher for England than it actually is, but all the same. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, I would have thought it would have been a bit higher, but all the same, like it's unique. I do not like Mexico football only because of the rivalry, and mainly because they also play dark arts extremely well and always. But that's what it is. We're less than 2 minutes away from kickoff, so keep in mind if you haven't gotten your TVs on, definitely put them on. We're gonna do this show a little differently. We're gonna watch the game will be on the background, be a watch along, and we'll definitely be you know uh, giving a look, excuse me, at what's going on in the game. But also we're gonna talk a little Liverpool football as well. A couple updates, or at least some things I would like to talk about, some subjects I would like to engage in. Um, let's see. Um, yeah, our record against Mexico is not that great. They win so often. They win. They rarely lose at home in Mexico. Um, we're 38 and 24. 38, 24, and 17 draws, 24 losses, 38 wins. For Mexico has 38 wins, 24 losses against U.S. men's national team. It's definitely been more of something to talk about since the modern era, because if you look at the modern era of football, since the 2000s, we have held the upper advantage. We've had 19 wins and 10 losses in 8 draws. So since the start of the new millennium, we have definitely played better and played more often, played good enough to get results. But but that's where we are at. All right, let's see what are we talking about here? Third place. Let's do this. Sign in again, apparently. Bum, bum. Um, Suckers. Give me 1 second. I make sure that I'm not giving away my password over here. Um, 1 second. I know that they just kicked off, but my the feed asked me to put in my password for some reason to get it back. Big up to Dara, by the way. I just saw you chime in. How are you doing? Hope everything is good. I hope that you are raring and ready for this. Um, this thing is not wanting to cooperate with me. Um, all right, all right. Um, Sorry about the dead air. I'm just trying to get logged in here. I'm trying to get logged in. Gosh, it is frustrating me. I am decent. I am decent. I'm better. Trying to maintain my health as best as possible. It's not been an easy ride, to tell you the truth, but I can say that I appreciate the fact that I have friends and family like yourselves. I don't know what that's all about. Dara or Daryl, I said Dara. Daryl, sorry, Dara. Daryl. But all the same, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's been a while, and I hope that you're doing well. I definitely hope you're doing well. Um, what are the predictions for this game, people? What are some of your predictions? What are some of your predictions? Anyone willing to take a stab um at getting a prediction right here? I'm about ready to throw this phone. Let me put this on here. 4-0 France, says Daryl. Oh, he's hating. He is hating. Let's just do it like this. Hopefully this doesn't chop up my feed too much. Um, it's already 1-0, by the way. It is already 1-0. I didn't even get to tune in. It's already 1-0. Um, so much for taking it easy. It is 1-0. I wonder where it will or what will happen. What the heck? Um, let's see. 1-0 already to England. By the way, it is 1-0 England. What the heck is going on? Hold on. Getting angry. It's been already a rough week for myself. It's already been a very, very rough week. Mm, I got my phone broke, so I don't have my phone, or don't have a phone for right now. And for some reason, I am not able to sign in. But yes, it is 1-0 already in this game. England is up 1-0. Currently, let's see. I'll tell you who scored in one moment. Scored this goal. Now it wants to work. I'll double check and make sure it's not some preview. All right, well, now it's working. So I got the game on. So it's 1-0. Whoops. At least I did have the game on. Now it's telling me to sign in again. Put 11 men behind the ball. Yeah, exactly. Is that what's going to happen? It's pretty wild. It is one that you really think about, like what they're going to do in this game. By the way, goal France. Declan Rice was the one who scored the goal. By the way, he had a right foot from outside the box to the right corner to start off and that was in the 3rd minute of the game. So Declan Rice puts England up 1-0 early. Shrug the shoulders mode. I don't know what is up with them. Don't understand what is up with them. Especially with the comments that that were made by Mbappe about the coach, about how he didn't like the tactics that were used. What's going on? But all the same, it is 1-0 still. All the same, and guess there goes your 4-0 to Daryl. Daryl had it 4-0. Guess that is out the window. Let me also do one other thing. All right. So let me do this. Share that. Hopefully this doesn't. Again, like I said, hopefully it doesn't chop up my screen a little bit too much. Hopefully you can still hear me live. I know that sometimes it does. Definitely gonna have to go inside for this. Let's go inside. All right, so let's go here a little bit. So there you have it. put that on the big screen in the corner there. I don't know if any people are going to be joining me for this broadcast, but they're more than welcome to if anybody wants to join out there. Let's see what you guys are saying. Give me a shout if you need anything. 12. You have my number. Oh, appreciate that, Dara. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Oh, that's something else. Played in the French league and said they had the heart the size of peas. Okay. You see the valuation of England midfield and attacking is 622 million. That's crazy. That's pretty crazy. This game is going to pick up, though. I think it's going to pick up. I don't think that any of these teams want to leave the World Cup on a loss. I think like this is the opportunity to leave and go home, at least knowing that despite not being in the final, you still performed at your highest level and came home with something in the bag. I think that's important. But it's now 2-0. I think that, but it's offsides. Offsides. They're calling it offsides on England. That was almost a Saka goal, or at least that's what the flag is up saying it's offsides. See if that stands or doesn't stand. Yeah, we're back at it, and it's still 1-0. Very, very back and forth action. Definitely. I don't know what you guys are feeling about it. How you guys are feeling. Pick up everyone though that's joining us again. Like I said, if you're joining us on X, definitely say hello. I know you can use the field to type in. I understand that it's not the same as YouTube where you'll see an active chat box on the right, but all the same, I see your messages when you do say something. And what I will do is I will always try to include them for the YouTube audience so they can see them as well. And also for others that are on X, for them to be able to see it as well. So that everyone could get engaged in the conversation. Because right now, we have over 50 people in the chat. And I know the good majority of them are on X, which is usually the case. So definitely say hello and put in your comments, put in your thoughts about what you're watching. Again, let me see. I could probably make this bigger. Actually, let me make this bigger. The actual. There we go. Hopefully that isn't too far. I'm not too far ahead of anyone. So you see that. But you saw that Morgan Rogers was sold today to Chelsea for 117 million. New British record. They're just pushing up. They're just. I think now it's to the point where they're just going to keep selling these players for hundreds of millions of dollars because it's their way of making back their money for the hundreds of millions of dollars that they have to spend on getting these players in. Definitely going to have. There's some pretty cool episodes that I was putting together earlier today for upcoming shows. Tell me how you feel about them. I was going to do a 30 for 30, meaning or a top 30 forwards of all time. Maybe just do top 20 or if not top 25 or something, probably. Maybe top 25 so I can get some players in that normally would not be in or probably wouldn't make it into a top 20, but they'll certainly make it into a top 25. I was going to do I have a show lined up about the kits because I do have something to share with you at the end of this show because apparently there has been some action on the kit front for Liverpool. And I guess what we can talk about. Um, I was going to talk about Liverpool's situation with our center halves. I think that that's more. It's becoming more and more of a pressing issue. I mean, we have four center backs. We have Virgil. We have Joe. We have Jeremy now, and we have Giovanni. Right, and there's only two starting positions, obviously, in the role that we play. We don't play for back three, so therefore there's only two roles, two positions that is going to be left and right center half. But if you look at on paper, it looks like, okay, cool, it's solved. But that's not the case. We have a situation where we have four center backs, and not all are fit to be starters. If not, and I don't mean by ability wise, I just mean by fitness wise. Um, it's a really big issue. Um, we've one experienced defender, obviously, in our captain, but we have to have another experienced defender who may also be needed at right back. We have one 20-year-old signing, adapting to a new league. We have one, I would say, talented young player still completing a long-term rehabilitation process. That's four names. We get that. And, I mean by the player that might have played right back, that's Joey, the player um, that is 20 years old, but it's a new signing, that's Jeremy. The player that's adapting or going to have to adapt from being injured, that's Giovanni. But Iraola has already publicly said Liverpool need more players. I think he knows he inherited the squad. We can buy, I think, important departures. And I'm going to say this loud and clear, departures that were definitely connected to the fact that Arne Slot was most likely going to be the coach going forward. But even with his exit, it was the wheels were already in motion, and these players had made up their minds and decided to move on. It's complicated by long-term injuries. If you look at our front line to like Ekatike and Connor Bradley, even drop in Giovanni Leoni, that makes today's, I think, emerging transfer story immensely and extremely interesting. I think you've all been hearing about this name quite a bit. And Illia Zabarnyi. He's a 23-year-old. Up, scored another goal. It looks like we just got it tied up. Let me see if this is if this is gonna stand. Let's see if this is gonna stand. At the moment, it is Kanza with the equalizing goal in the 18th minute mark of the game. I'm not sure if it's going to stand or not. Usually, when it freezes like this, it just means that they're in VAR checking it. But what I was saying was seeing a defender score for France. The Premier League needs players that know how to play in the Premier League if you're going to have a defense that's worth holding up. It looks like it stands. We have 1-1. And just like that, it's 1-1, people. Or excuse me, is that 2-0? Was that an own goal? Hold on. Oh, try not to show advertisements. Is it 2-0? Let's see. Let's see. I thought it was 1-0 because Kanza. Oh, Kanza scored. Kanza plays for England, so it's 2-0. 2-0. England. Um, and just like that, maybe it's going to be 4-0, but it looks like for right now, Daryl, it is going to be possibly 4-0 England if it continues this way. France is going to have a meltdown in that locker room. I mean, they're starting with Mbappe, they're starting with Doué, they're starting with Elise. Their front line is got heavy hitters. There was a report that came out earlier today that had us linked to Elise once again, but I don't really hold any measure or credit to it because I know that Bayern Munich is not looking like they want to have any parts in selling Elise. So, you know, for what it's worth, I don't put too much measure into that story. Again, let's see, I can look up SofaScore to get like accurate scores and stuff. I do wanted to talk about this Zabarnyi. And what I want to talk about is the fact that um, he's a Premier League proven player. He went to PSG with a 5-year contract in August of 2025. So it was just last year. And their fee was reportedly 63 million euros was the fee. Now, after an uneven, and I would say very uneven first season at Paris, there are reports that claim that Liverpool have explored the possibility of bringing the player back to England. Some outlets go further and claim direct discussions have taken place with Zabarnyi's representatives, and that makes sense considering he has a connection to this coach. The strongest currently available reporting supports exploratory interest and preliminary dialogue, and it's not like it's because it's a complicated agreement. He's got 4 years left on his contract. And what I mean by is very difficult is that it's not a completed agreement. It's an accepted bid, not a complete agreement, accepted bid, or even advanced negotiations. PSG supposedly are interested, but they have a 60 million euro demand, and Liverpool's preference is for us to bring the player in on a loan with an option to remain. Now, that's a weird deal. It's a weird situation to have for a player that we all know has talent, all is well taken in as being a good player. But to know that the option or the path that we're looking at is for us to possibly go for a loan with an option remain claims from lower tier transfer reporting. So it's not confirmed. But that sounds weird to me. But I'm not trying to announce that we have some deal set in place. I'm not trying to say I'm ITK. I'm just repeating some of the things that we're watching in or reading that I'm reading up on. And I've seen a lot of content creators start to pick up the pace in the interest for this player because honestly, again, we need to figure out how we're going to move forward. Jeremy Jacquet is most likely, I think, the likely candidate to be the right back. And why I say that, it's not because he's better than Joey. I'm just saying that because we would possibly need Joey to be coverage in center half, but also coverage at right back. Considering Connor Bradley still working back to fitness and Frimpong is still trying to get his ability to be available more readily. But this is what got me thinking and why I brought this up. Is he the right partner for VVD? Is he more suitable than my choice, Alessandro Bastoni? Would signing another major center back protect Jeremy Jacquet and Leoni, or would it block their development? I think that's the reason why uh, this whole concept of loaning is even there. They're probably going to say if if it is a loan that we're going to proceed on, we're saying let's get the player. Let's see if he can fit in with the team. Let's see if he's going to be a success with this team. If he is, fantastic. We'll move forward with the deal. But if not, we'll have another year where we'll have two young fullbacks that are possibly not only capable but are probably looking to get involved in becoming regulars in the lineup. So, who's your preferred partner for Really Day next season? Is it Jeremy Jacquet? Is it Joe Gomez? Is it Zabarnyi? Is it my choice, Bastoni? Or another defender entirely? Please, if you can, put that in the comment section after the show, or if you want to put it in now, it's cool. But I mean, like, definitely put it in the comment section. I spoke on the fact that Iraola says Liverpool need more players, and I'm dead serious about that being the case. He spoke in his press conference, um, and Iraola has not attempted to pretend that Liverpool's squad is complete. During his first press conference, he acknowledged that the club has already added JJ and Victor Munoz, but said more players were required. That statement matters. And I think that's a bold statement from a coach that is walking into a position where normally a coach of his standard or a coach of his status would most likely be like, hey, whatever the team brings me, I'm good with. I'll make it work. It's what he did at Bournemouth somewhat because he had to deal with a lot of departures in Bournemouth. They were selling a lot of players. But it matters because this manager has publicly confirmed that this squad needs a lift. Liverpool have quality. Liverpool do not yet have enough dependable coverage for that quality. Iraola's teams press forward. They attacked after recovering possession. We all know that. We all know they attack defenders to hold territory near the half line. They expect fullbacks to advance, which is why I'm looking for a big year out of Frimpong, which is why I'm looking for a very, very big year out of Kirkez. They require midfielders to close space quickly after turnovers, which is why I'm interested to see if we do go get a fullback, or excuse me, a DM or not. Football cannot survive a season with only 13 or 14 trusted players. This is not going to be your Arne Slot Liverpool where you only see the same 13, 14 players no matter what. First 11 might be capable of competing with anyone, but the problem begins with when, you know, three circumstances occur simultaneously. You know, we all know that Virgil van Dijk is going to have to start being rested this season. We cannot play him every minute, every game of this campaign. Bradley remains unavailable currently. We don't know when he's going to be fully fit and able to come back and be a measured piece of this team. I don't think that Leoni is ready yet. It doesn't look like he's ready yet. He's close, but he's not ready. Ekitike is going to be out for a large sample of the season. And even when he comes back, it's going to be a process of him getting his pace and his confidence back. We'll have some international players returning late. We have midfielder who suffered a suspension. And suddenly the manager is not simply rotating players. He's looking at plugging gaps. He's looking at trying to figure out how to make this team float. And when Iraola says Liverpool need more players, do you believe him? Do you think that he is not only right, but do you think that he is right in asking for more players? Availability is and has always been the most one of the most important factors in picking players. Availability and depth. I like depth because that helps secure or bring security, or safety nets for availability. But it's important. We need enough players the manager trusts that one injury does not force three other players playing out of position. Connor Bradley's injury last season was a perfect example of this. Perfect example. If Bradley's not available and Frimpong cannot be asked to play every match at right back, all of a sudden Joe Gomez has to be the guy. And we all know that when Joe Gomez moves wide, Liverpool lose one of their four center backs. So therefore, you're now losing a center back option, and now you're making him play right back. And not only that, he's not even that. Talk about availability. You take four center backs, and all of a sudden you have three. If Leoni is still rehabilitating, then the three becomes two. And that's two fully ready senior options. That's how a squad that appears numerically acceptable becomes dangerously thin. The same thing happens in the midfield. It could happen to us up front. We need depth. McAllister at this World Cup and people wanting him to leave, with Jones's future uncertain, with the fact that Elliott might not stay with the team, he might stay with the team, who knows? I don't think we have the fortunate. I think that last season, this is why I've been so critical of Hughes and of Edwards, but more so Hughes, because Hughes is the guy pulling the strings. And that is because I honestly think that these players don't recognize, or excuse me, these backroom staff administrators don't recognize the fact that they sold too many players. One of the unique things about our youth academy was having players that could fill in and had at least some experience to do so. Now, I will give the backroom staff credit that they've been bringing in some very talented and some very capable players in the names that they've been bringing in. But it still means that those names need to get acclimated to senior level, not U21s, not some you're on loan at Middlesbrough or something like that. All respect to Middlesbrough. But the manager needs players on the training pitch, players capable of learning the press, players building relationships. I've said it time and time again. There's parts of what I believe are important that I know some of my counterparts, some in the content creation world, do not put a lot of measure and a lot of work in. But I believe synergy is incredibly important when it comes to a team. Being able to, you might have fantastic players that don't have any synergy. And I think that's very, very important. You want players that not only enjoy playing on the pitch with each other, but also have that telepathic connection with each other. So that's just my take. France has had a little bit of something, but it's been primarily England with the ball. It's 2-0 in this game. I'd say pick up Gordon, by the way. I didn't get a chance to say hello. I hope that you're well. Gordon is saying we need another striker. Isak is boring. Okay. Um, we do have another striker in TK, but he's not going to be available for a good portion of the season. Jaden Dans is probably going to get a very, very concerted look at being an option for that role. Um, but I understand we spent like £60 million for Jeremy Jacquet. That is less than what we're being possibly quoted to bring in for um, for ill or for the streets are here for Zabarnyi. And I just think that it's like, when you really look at it, if you evaluate the group honestly, Virgil van Dijk is our captain. He's our organizer, the player most capable of seeing danger go through. Oh, we already have another goal. Wow. I think that Daryl was onto something, by the way. It is now 3-0. 3-0. Waiting to see the stands. It does. So far, we've had Rice, 3rd minute, Kanza in the 18th minute, and now Saka joins the party at 37th minute with a goal. What an embarrassment France is doing. What an absolute embarrassment France is doing right now. I thought France was going to come out and play for something, considering that their coach is just their last. So this is the coach's last game with them. Um, I thought they would come out and show a little bit more fight. Again, we'll see what comes out at halftime. But going into halftime, 3-0, down 3-0 against a very formidable England squad that we do know can defend, despite the fact that they didn't do the greatest job against Argentina. They still we're still looking at a squad that will certainly be able to hold. I think a 3-0. The English should be able to hold a 3-0 lead. Um, Zidane he'll be good. He'll be good. It'll be interesting. I'm more interested to see when I'm more interested to see when Klopp takes over Germany. To be honest with you, more interested in that. But Zidane is going to be a formidable coach for France. It's a job that I'm sure that he's very much up for. And I always think that when you get into the national teams, when you're the coach, there's just as much pressure on you, but it's even worse because you're not able to really get in the teams and get them training under the system and the processes that you want them to train under, um, other than the mini camps that they go through. Other than that, you might have them for a month, or you might have them for a couple of weeks, or maybe a week, 10 days, something like that. But um, has that sedan? Yep. Um, September 1st, 2026 is when Zidane will take over this French squad. Um, I think it's a shame that they're not coming out and showing more diligence and purpose for this coach, because I think that this Champs was very, very good at getting results and keeping this team of egos very much committed and focused. But currently, right now, it does not seem that way. It's 3-0, closing on halftime. Um, let's see. LaCroix. So you want? I know that you're very high on that guy. LaCroix. I don't know about him. Good player, but I don't know if he's necessarily for what Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace wants big time money for him. Um, I even double check for you. Yeah, they're looking for 55 million pounds for the player. I'm hoping he does come back roster crab in beast mode. I know some were saying that they're not very high on Isak. Um, but yeah, 55 million is what their price tag is. Um, I think Crab is thinking that maybe 50 million gets him the move. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. For 50 million, you could get Bastoni though. That's why I'm so. That's why Bastoni is a player I like. I know he's not a prem proven player. I know that people are going to talk about he primarily plays in the back three. Um, but I just think that Bastoni has some capabilities that could enhance us. And on top of that, I wouldn't mind seeing something that I wanted to see before, and that is Virgil to be moved from left to right. Um, I would love to see him get moved from left to right and go back to his original position that he played. Early in his career, he was playing right center half, not left center half. And maybe take on that role, and then allow for to bring in a natural left-footed left center half into our team. But yeah, I know that our other. I think Schlotterbeck is off the books. I don't think Schlotterbeck um is a real possibility. Um, because he had a release clause. If we were very interested in the player, then we should have basically we've missed our chance basically to go for the player. Um, and that happened 3 days ago. If we were going to get this, we were going to try to get Schlotterbeck. We had to make it. We had to go and get him. On July 15th was the deadline for. I think that was the deadline. July 15th, I believe, is the deadline for Schlotterbeck. His release clause expired on the 15th, and I think it was for like 50, maybe 60 million, something like that. Euros, not pounds, euros. So, so yeah, I know he's 26. But it looks like if we're going to go for the player now, we're going to have to really, really use our negotiation tactics to get him into the squad, because triggering that release clause is done and gone. I'm with you, Lone Sheep. I don't know why people. I know I get why people are not bullish on John Stones. He's got injury problems, and he's got issues with staying fit and being available. I get that. I get that. But he's on a free. It'd be a different story if I wouldn't be saying this if we had to go out and pay money to, like, as in to pay another club to bring this player in. Um, and it wouldn't be the first uh, former, great player for Manchester City to join Liverpool. Um, but they're not going to probably pursue him. But I just think that he's a free agent. Um, I know Stones is out there evaluating his options and the likes, and he might end up going to. I could see him maybe going, not to the Bundesliga, but I could probably see him if he doesn't sign in England. I could probably see John Stones moving on and playing in Italy, because I think Italy's a little bit slower pace game. Slower pace. Is that another goal already? Are you kidding me? It is 4-0. Where is Daryl? Where is Daryl? Daryl came on here saying 4-0 France. It is now 4-0 England. Four nothing England. Four nothing England. I think the unique thing about the I don't know. It'd be interesting if he doesn't. And that is again, I think that he could go to it. He can go possibly to Italy, but if John Stones doesn't go to Italy, I think that you'll maybe see him venture back to his roots and possibly put on a blue kit. And I obviously don't mean a powder blue kit. I think maybe he'll go and get a blue kit for the other side of Liverpool. Probably get an Everton kit and go back and play out his career for Everton. But there's always a possibility that doesn't happen. Yeah, yeah, I see you. I was saying the same thing, Gordon. This is pathetic how France is playing for their coach in their last run. I mean, this is not some wishy-washy squad that is out there running the pitch. This is a real put together squad for France. Doué, Elise, Mbappe, all on that front line. Um, Ribot, Zaire Emery. They have a well put together midfield and a well put together offensive front line. And then that back line, Crab, you're just talking about LaCroix. LaCroix plays in this back line. What is your evaluation? Yeah, just went down. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. But they've got some good players in that back line. I don't rate. I think that the French goalkeeper is pretty much is uh, as some would say is garbage. I think that he is garbage. But yeah. Um, what are you saying now? 15 million. That was yesterday's price. That is not today's price no longer. Um, but yeah. This guy is coughing. Um, I'm very interested to see. So we're at halftime, people. It is halftime. It is 4-0, people. 4-0 as England looks to try and get their best performance ever in the World Cup, other than their World Cup win. This would be their best. This would be their best standing or best performance ever, other than their World Cup win. Yeah. Tuchel needs to go. Why? Why does Tuchel need to go? Tell me why. Why does he need to go? Tell me why. Tell me why. Like Backstreet Boys, tell me why. I think they're back. I think that's Backstreet Boys. Where was this football against Argentina? Oh, that's why. Ask the players, Crab. Ask the players. They decided to put their scoring boots on. Do you realize that other than what was it? It was other than Gordon, or not Gordon, excuse me. Gordon, his goal was a anomaly because other than that goal, every goal that England had scored had been by either Harry Kane or Jude Bellingham. We're seeing Saka score. Saka's gotten minutes in the World Cup. We're seeing Rice score. Rice has gotten plenty of minutes in this game. Maybe I will admit that Rice has been under the weather, so maybe he's finally, feeling better enough that he can really put in a concerted effort. But I really say, I think there's bigger questions that have to be asked of the players than the coach. I honestly do think that. I honestly do think that. Um, let's see. Let's see. Tuchel got scared against Argentina. Says Crab. Yeah, before Gordon, it was all Harry Kane and Jude. It was Kane and Jude. That's it. Jude and Kane. However you want to reference it. Real thinking, what on earth have we signed with Ibu? Hey, enjoy. Enjoy. There's a lot of people that I don't think Ibu is terrible, but I definitely don't think that Ibu. I didn't know if Ibu. I think it was right. It was the right move to move on from Ibu. I think it was the right move to move on. I don't appreciate players that hang us out to dry. For someone that kept saying the deal's almost done, the deal's almost done, looks like the deal's going to be getting done. I'm looking forward to next season, and blah blah blah. And we're gonna make amends for having a horrible season, man. For a whole season, you let your contract get in the way, and there's other reasons, other things that actually absolutely are viable reasons why his game wasn't at the level that it needed to be. Um, but I just think that was certainly a factor in it as well. Is you thinking about that check, trying to get that bag from Real Madrid. Real thinking, I just read that one. Crap. Imagine getting rings now for winning the World Cup and having a halftime show. It's all politics and money. Show me the money. Show me the money, says Crab. England started playing defense right after Gordon scored, even before the coach made changes. Argentina are relentless. Gordon, you and I are on the same wavelength. Did he make adjustments? Absolutely, he did. He absolutely did. But you can tell that the mentality of the England squad is not there. I know you don't want to hear that, but this is coming from someone who, people will be like, "Oh, well," I could easily say, "Oh, well, that was just England being humbled." I'm not going to go as far as to say that. I just going to say that that was England being shown that if you give a World Cup champion an opportunity to stay in a game and get opportunities, they will hurt you, and that's what happened. They absolutely hurt them, absolutely hurt them. What was that? What was that? Argentina are relentless. They are. They are. They have a lot of players, and when you have the best player in the world, it doesn't hurt either. That doesn't hurt either. Um, just let's stop talking about Ibu. He is in the same bag as Trent. Is he? I mean, at least we got some money for Trent. Kane said in an interview the message was to push on and get a second. It says Red Armchair supporter. Hyler says, do not take lightly on the fact that Real Madrid poaching our players. They have done this so many times at our club. Yes, they've done it to our club. They've done it to other clubs too. They've definitely done it to other clubs. Argentina are champions for a reason. Yes, they are, says Gordon. The same rotten bag. I don't know what you mean. The same rotten bag. I got you. I'll look it up for you. Yeah, he is good. Scaloni has managed the Argentine national team in over 100 matches. In 100 matches, he has won 75 times, 18 draws, and 9 losses. He has guided the team to 4 major titles: the Copa America, the Finalisma, the FIFA World Cup, obviously, and the Copa America in 2024. He is good. He is a good player. Or a good coach, excuse me. And why did Italy play in the Finalisma? Oh, because that's wild. Italy was I sometimes forget that Italy won the Euros in 2020 because of how bad they are in qualifying for the World Cup. How do you not qualify for the World Cup if you're the 2020 Euro winners? Obviously, it was held in 2021 because of the pandemic, but still, you're the 2020 Euro winners. I forgot about that because yeah, the final they do have now a version of what is going to happen in the World Cup. It's never happened in the World Cup, but they have this thing called the finalizima, and that is basically the CONMEBOL and UEFA Cup of Champions. Um, and in that matchup, you had Italy versus Argentina, and actually, Dybala, Paulo Dybala scored in that game. I remember that he scored at the end. I do remember that game slightly. I don't think Messi scored in that game. I'd have to look it up to get the exact scores for you, but um 12. If you were a betting man, tell you not putting money on Argentina. It's like Thanos inevitable. That's what Messi does. Is that what Messi does with the World Cups? That would be a funny that'd be pretty funny to have here you go. There you go. Messi. That is what he is. He is the Thanos of football for he is inevitable. He is inevitable. Before Scaloni took over Argentina, he never coached a team. It doesn't hurt to have the players that Argentina have, but then again, you still have to do a job. Gordon, you're absolutely right. You have to do a job. You could have a lot of players and a lot of great players and still not be able to um, inspire and bring them to a level where they're going to be able to really make something happen. I'll tell you what you missed out on. I think, truthfully, you got Tuchel, fantastic, but I think you might have should have done once you saw that Jurgen Klopp was ready to coach again. England should have been like, "What's up? Why don't you bring that? We already know what the getting press is like. Why don't you bring that over here and win us a World Cup?" Um, Definitely, Gordon. Enjoy your day. Um, Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the World Cup tomorrow. Definitely. Hopefully, there's no hand of God tomorrow. Hopefully, hopefully, we shall see. Let's see. Let's see. So, mm. Yes, but let's go. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So, for nothing. Do you think France is going to come out? And I think that they're getting an earful from the coach. I think the French coach is saying a whole lot of words that that I probably don't understand, despite knowing some French. Probably French words I've never heard before, and yeah, who knows? Who knows? Um, did he do it? Did he do one? Did he do a Thanos celebration? Nuh-uh, did he? This has got to be AI. I think there was a meme of him doing the Thanos celebration. If he did that, that'd be great. And um, I think it's absolutely, you're right about the Red Orange supporter. It is absolutely very disrespectful to everything that this coach has brought France, everything that he's done for this team players, keeping them organized and helping their careers and creating platforms for them to really uh, push on and bring their nation uh, the glory that they have. You know, there was a question they got asked to Thierry Henry, um, and the question was, which French team was the best? What was the best French team? Um, and it was a good question because he didn't want to answer. Of course, he didn't want to answer, but Ibu got hooked. Not surprising, but obviously there's the '98 World Cup winners. There's the 1984 Euro champions, and then there is the 2018 obviously World Cup winning squad. That seems like a long time ago. Um, very long time. Still waiting for this halftime to begin. I'll bring this up here. I actually like doing some of these watch alongs when it's a team that I could care less about or I don't have anything invested in. I don't say care less about. I'll say don't have anything invested in it. Don't have anything invested in it. Um, we're off, and we're off. 4-0. England's kicked off the ball, and away we go. Is this going to get uglier? Is this going to get uglier? Is the biggest question. Who do you think is the greatest French team? Who do you think? Who do you think? Um, because they won it in '98 and they won it in right. I think it was '98 that they '98's when it was in France. Most people get that confused when I was talking to people about the World Cup. They often get it confused with because Zidane got kicked out of the 2002. They were going for back to back, and I think that's when Italy won the World Cup. Seems like forever and a day. Because I mean, like, think about that. Italy won the World Cup against France. How was that headbutt heard around the world? Do you think that the 2018 team was better than the 98 team? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Don't know. Um, we all know that most will say for England, it was their World Cup winning team that is the best team of all time. We all know that. Um, you know what's weird is that I know that Spain is going for. Wait, did they just score? Who scored? Who scored now? Mbappe. Mbappe. I told you they got probably an earful in that locker room. I don't know what it was, but I'm sure they got an earful. 4-1. They were not getting shut out. Could this be one of the most epic comebacks of all time? Can France on a Mbappe maybe a hat trick push it towards some thrilling ending where you see England push and prod to not get scored on in the last dying moments of the game. It's early. It's very early. Dembele is in the game, by the way. Let's get a lineup for you as well. The phone I have as a backup is so old that some of these things don't even update anymore. Let's get a lineup for you. All right, so but I do love this phone. That's why I've kept it. I have a old. It's not an iPhone. It's a Galaxy. I do love it though. I like it more than I like my iPhone. I'll tell you the truth. Anyways, Hernandez has been taken out. Kanate's gotten the hook. Cherky has gotten the hook. 3 players, 3 moves. England has come out with basically the same squad, other than Rashford being shown the gate. Or actually, so it's Meccano in for Ibu, Digne in for Hernandez, Dembele in for Cherky, and Barcola in for Due. For England, like I said, Ollie Watkins, which is good to see. I was hoping that he would get a run. So it looks like they're going to go with two forwards. I would guess. I guess I would assume they're going with 2 forwards with both Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins in the game. So I don't think Ollie Watkins is going to play on the left wing. Maybe move Eze over to the left wing, put Rogers in as your 10, and let Toney and Watkins hold down your striker role. What do you think? What do you think? Ibu hauled off in disgrace. Yeah. Yeah. It's been a horrible World Cup for Ibu. They seem to have locked Kanate in the cabinet. Yeah, maybe they did. 4 subs for France. Yep. Mbappe. They're going all in for to get these goals back early. Um grow in England. What does the new iPhone cost in the US nowadays? You don't want to know, to be honest with you. You know, I don't know which iPhone we're even on. It depends on which one you get. But if you were to get the one, if you were to get the one that like the kind that I have, um, it would be in American. I'm trying to think of what it'd be in pounds. Hold on, I'll tell you what it is in pounds. It would be about 900 pounds sterling is what it would cost to get an iPhone in America, or at least the one that I have. I have a Pro. I have the big one, the big the one with the largest screen. But yeah, it'd be about 900 pounds. Um, I wonder how much that was. How much is it for you guys? It's about the same. Yeah, 1,200 pounds. Another goal, people. Another goal. It is now 4-2. I'm telling you. I am telling you. They got yelled at. They definitely got yelled at. I don't know why that thing doesn't want to work. Let's see. What else do I have? Caesars. It is now 4-2. Can they push? Can they get a comeback? Can they get a comeback? What are you guys feeling? What are you guys feeling? Barcola picked up the ball just after scoring. France are hungry for more. This will turn into a 5-4 match, says Hylor. Mm. I'll tell you this: people are definitely betting um, that they will. Mhm. Um, Offsides to France. They are. They are not, it's looking like it is. They are plus 600 right now to win. Who knows? That's still tough. That's still a tough bet to make. Um, Hmm. That'd be a wild bet too. Does it? So can they do it? Can they do it? What's that? What is that? 5. So if you're to put, mm, not worth it. This is why I'm not a betting man anymore. $10 wins you $60. $10, $60. $10 to bring back $60 is what the odds are right now. I wonder what the odds were before that. I wonder what they were before that. Even that one's a tough one. Do you think that France wins, both teams score, and Dembele gets a goal? Do you think that'll happen? If you do, find yourself a betting service. You can make yourself some money. $10 wins you $500. So let's see. Um, I've not watched. I've not seen Liverpool training. I have been thinking about getting LFC TV. I know that they do a lot of the training videos and they show a lot of the um, uh, backstage style or backstage stuff. 4-2, 6 goals in this third place match. You've got to think that it's way, way too hard of a comeback for them to uh, not only draw even, but even to even go in front. It would be very difficult, very difficult. But who knows? Just the same way that England scored 4 goals in the first, maybe England can score 4 goals in the second. They've dug themselves a nice little hole, though, to get out of. Definitely dug themselves a nice little hole. No vacations or salaries have yet to be spotted in those. I don't know what that means. Um, Kwanzaa, getting at it. What would you guys like to bring back Kwanzaa? We're talking about center halves to come to for Liverpool. Is Kwanzaa? I know that the deal gets better next season. So this year, the deal is like set at a certain rate, and then the following season after that, it doesn't go up. It actually goes down, considering he has less time on this contract. But the buyback is for less in the upcoming year. So it wouldn't be, the smartest move to bring him back possibly in the summer if you're looking at it financially, because it's going to cost you more. But would you bring back Kwanzaa? Big question. Would you bring back Kwanzaa? Um, I'll tell you the exact thing. So Liverpool's buyback clause, um, uh, who was bought for Leverkusen for an initial £30 million, is structured in a two-tiered release clause. The buyback option can be activated in the summer of 2027 for 65 million euros, approximately 56 million pounds. So yeah, so you can buy him. When I say buy him back, I meant like just going out and purchasing him. But everyone, no. Trudon says no. Hyler says no. No to Kwanzaa. Mm-mm-mm. He's been good at it. He's been very good in England in Germany. He's been very very good. Found his voice. Found his voice. Who's the next to score? Who's going to score next? Is it going to be England? Or is it going to be? Is England going to put a? Is England going to cap this game and get a fifth goal, or are France going to make this interesting and get a third? Are France going to make this interesting and get a third goal? Some doors you can only go through once. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, I understand what you're saying. There's no reason if that was necessarily the truth for them. Then what's the point of putting a buyback on his contract? I know that some people were talking about doing the same for Harvey Elliott. They were trying to sell him to the right bidder, um, and then include a buyback. Hmm, hmm, hmm. But back at it, we're back at it. I wonder if England is going to make any changes other than the Rashford change. Are they going to bring in any players to kind of reinvigorate their offense here? Are they going to? Big question. Big question. Our training sessions look miles better already. None of this dribbling around the cone stuff. Big up, Oliver. How have you been? Hope that you're well, and good to see you. Good to see you. Um, I definitely knew that the right now, I think the best thing for Liverpool right now is the fact that the people that are in, obviously, you don't have anyone really from the World Cup really actively taking part in a good portion of the sessions, I would assume. But um, unless they volunteer to go and be a part of them. Um, but right now, you probably have the best moment to see players that are hungry, that are anxious for the season to start, that are looking to impress. Um, the wow 4-3, 4-3. I said Mbappe would have a hat trick, right? He doesn't have one yet. But I said that. I said Mbappe hat trick pulls him back closer, gets him in. I know he doesn't have a hat trick yet. I know he only has 2 goals. I get that. But with another goal, with a hat trick goal, all of a sudden you're looking at 4-4. What are you guys doing right now for England? Up 4-3. Do you do what you did against Argentina? And that is, um, make some changes defensively to bring in some real to really clamp down on this. We got a water break in the 67th minute of this game. What do you do? What do you do? You would think that they're probably going to be warming up some players there and getting them ready to come in. Um, let's see. Let's see. You'd think that they probably have someone getting ready to come off, and come off the bench and join. You'd think, because so far the only substitution that he's made has been Watkins. I'm sure that he wanted to get. Sure, he probably wanted if Jordan Henderson. He's got Jordan Henderson on the bench, so he probably. But I'm sure Jordan Henderson wanted to probably get involved and get into this game. Um, everyone has played that's on the bench. They've all played in some capacity throughout in the World Cup. I think they all have a cap in this World Cup. It's a good question, Oliver. It's a good question. When do they start to figure out of bringing in Dan Burn? Play is resumed, obviously. When do they bring in Dan Burn? Um, John Stones is on the bench. Maybe they bring in Reece James. Do they bring in defensive? Do they go defensive and try to hold on to this, or do they go offensive? They could easily bring in Drew. They could easily bring in Elliot Anderson. He's a mix. I'm not saying he's an offensive threat, but um, Jude, they could bring in Jude. They could bring in Anthony Gordon. They could bring in obviously Harry Kane. They could bring Maduke. They have options on the bench. Some real options too. Real options. All right. Players resumed. What do you do? If you could bump Tuchel out of his role, or maybe if you're the Tuchel whisperer, what do you say? What do you do? What's the move for you? Who are you taking off, and who are you bringing on? Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be very interesting to see what he does, considering he's gotten so much, and I mean so much, um, flack for what he did against Argentina and how he tried to clamp down and hold out. Um, what do you do? Okay, play resumes. Let's do it. Mm-mm-mm. Looks like they haven't made any changes. Came out with the same squad. Saka's on a brace or a hat trick alert too. I didn't have Saka getting a hat trick, but you never know. Saka definitely is capable of getting a hat trick. Start by shaving. I'm not gonna go. any further with that one. Um, I did see a report saying, talking about David Lynch's. I watch David Lynch pretty regularly. I think he's a good journalist. David Lynch's assessment is apparently cautious on us going for another defender, or at least Zabarnyi as a defender. He describes Zabarnyi as a move that could make logical sense if PSG determine he is not central to their plans, because Richard Hughes and Iraola know the player, and Liverpool often react with a high level opportunity when a high level opportunity becomes available below the normal market price. I think that's definitely the correct framing of what's happening. One to monitor, I think. I don't think there's anything. There's nothing to announce, obviously, but I still think that that is something. I think Liverpool. I think Liverpool should heavily investigate it. Should heavily investigate it. It's a right footer. Tactical profile is definitely the one that you probably want if you're going to keep Virgil van Dijk on the left side. Um, he's comfortable playing right center back. Creates a natural balance, obviously. Um, the unique thing about Zabarnyi is that he likes to defend. It could allow for Virgil to be more of the sergeant, or the general in that back line, and allow for Zabarnyi to be the guy that goes and puts out the fires, as opposed to always trying to call on our captain to do those things. But but yeah, I don't know. I don't think Zabarnyi is that. Um, I don't know if Zabarnyi is a better choice when it comes to offensively, though. Because I did do a Bastoni or Zabarnyi, and I know, again, not all of you like a Bastoni. I get that. That's just my choice. That's just my player I like. But I think that maybe it gets to a place that, unless you do what I said about moving Virgil to the right, Bastoni might be the better player, and Zabarnyi might be the better fit for our team, especially since he's already been a fit for knows the system, is capable of playing in the system, and provides a lot of what the system calls on for a center half, as he did for Iraola in Bournemouth before he made the move to PSG. Um, um, I'll do another. I'll save that for another time. Uh, uh, um, Hello to Raymond, by the way. Hello, Raymond. I think Raymond might be a Newcastle fan, possibly. Speaking of some Newcastle possibilities, or some Newcastle possibilities for it. No, I think that Jacquet is. I think Jacquet is the right back of, or excuse me, the center half of the right center half of the future for us. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that you're going to. It takes a lot to. Um, it takes a lot for you to just automatically plug into a Premier League team and be effective. And I just think that when it comes to this Liverpool team, I would like to see personally, I would like to see someone that has either Premier League experience and is capable of knowing how to play in not only Iraola's system, but in a Prem level team. But also, I would like to see a player again. I get it. Zabarnyi is not some mid 20 center half. I get that, but he's also. I would love to see the reason why I like Bastoni is because Bastoni is a veteran. He's the captain of his team. He's been he's got leadership qualities. He is there's a lot of things about Bastoni that I like. Again, and we can go over a lot of the things that I think personally make him justify him being a good choice. Um, because I do think Bastoni is better, but I think Zabarnyi may fit Liverpool better. That's just how it ends up being. Because I just think really quickly, I'll probably say it again if I do this segment. If I do the segment in another broadcast. But I think Bastoni is the more complete center back. I think he's better at breaking lines with his passing. I think he's more refined in possession. Uh, I think he's very capable of being a playmaker. And I think that if you had the capability of having two playmakers, being Virgil van Dijk and Bastoni in your center half, you could once again open up your offense. I think, and what I mean by that is uh, one of the unique things that we had with Virgil was when we had Trent, we had Robbo. Not only were they capable of passing, but they were very capable of going forward and being involved in the attack. Um, when it comes to doing that, if you're looking at it, it would be like just draw a line going forward, and those are your fullbacks going forward. But if you have two center halves that are capable of basically creating an X on that pitch with their passing abilities to be able to link up with the wingers, to link up with maybe even be able to pass to fullbacks that are going forward, so that they can then receive passes and then be able to proceed forward or be able to get crosses in themselves. That is what I like when it comes to having a high octane um, offense, offensive prowess from your center halves, and I think that's what could be the case if you have a player like a Bastoni that has that in his locker. I don't know how much of that is in Jacquet's locker. Um, we're obviously if he ends up being our starting halfback, then we will see that. Um, but I definitely know that Bastoni has it. Um, Zabarnyi, I know offers a lot more defensively than he does offensively, in my opinion, at least. Right-footed, aggressive, very physical. I know he's very comfortable defending the channel, which is something that you would need if you're going to have players going forward. Um, but I just think that if you're gonna do what I'm hoping is going to be a return to this high octane going forward, fullbacks going forward, um, offense, then that's what I would want to see at least. Uh, are they going to be able to bring this? We're in the 82nd minute, closing in on um, the end of this game. I don't know how much extra time is going to be added to this game, but obviously you have your water break, so that adds time to the end of the game, and also any injury time or anything like that that pops up before that. There hasn't been much of injuries to have to deal with just yet, but yes. Tony has taken a seat. Eze has taken a seat. We've seen Elliot Anderson and Jude both be brought on in the 79th minute. Helps to have players with that kind of quality to bring off the bench. Hyler is saying that both Hussein got just one season at Bournemouth, but he got sold to Real Madrid. Zabarnyi and Kirkes got 2 seasons, all coached by Iraola. Iraola grows players so fast, it's unheard of. Oliver James, yes, it makes sense. 12. Hopefully, Iraola's able to work the Spanish magic, having simple and effective solutions to our transfer dilemmas. I agree with that too, Oliver, as well. To both your points, to Hylor and to Oliver, I agree with your points. I think it's going to be good. I think it's fantastic that I don't know what I don't know what Munez's English capability is, if he's good at speaking English or not. But I'm very interested to see what Iraola is capable of doing. It's the reason why I kind of don't want to see Pachetic move on. To be honest with you, I'd like to see what he does with the Spanish coach. We are in the 85th minute, and it is England that is pressing. They've gotten a little bump in their game from the inclusion of Jude and Elliot. No more subs really. They have one more sub actually. I think they have one more sub. France has one sub left. So does France and England both have one sub left. Coaches usually like to hold on to that sub just in case a player gets injured. They're not hand tied in going down a man, as opposed to being able to sub off that guy to bring in his replacement. Can France do this, people? Not gonna lie, I'm kind of rooting that France gets another goal. That'd be interesting. Definitely interesting. It would make it difficult for me to complete this show because I can only do another. I've got an appointment to make in 30 minutes, so I expected to be out here in the next 10. So we'll see. We'll see. Let me see what's going on. For some reason, my live stream has, or my live thing is kind of frozen. I don't know why. So I am massively excited too. I think Victor Munez is going to be an exciting addition to this team. I like the fact that he's got pace. The fact that he's he oh, that's why it was a penalty. Saka gets his hat trick. That's why it was not moving. Saka gets his hat trick. And England can breathe a little bit easier. France made it interesting, but it looks like it is going to be England with a third place medal in this tournament. I don't think you don't get a ring for a third place medal or a third place win. I don't think, because you don't get a ring for a second place win. 88th minute. There's definitely going to be some extra time added on to this because of the penalty. And we're kicking off again. Junior Krupi bought for 13 million euros. Ryan bought in January for 28.5 million. Semenya for 10. It goes on and on. Yeah, they make some very good acquisitions, and to his credit, those are Richard Hughes moves for the most part. I would have hoped that Richard Hughes would have brought some of that finding South American talent to Liverpool. That's what I was hoping. I know that he did bring in one player that I'm excited for. He is he's a Colombian player. He's young though. He's very young. Uh, he's like 17 years old. He's young, but he's a good player. I think he's a good player, and I'm excited about the fact that we're bringing in another Colombian player. I love Colombian players. I love their football, and I love their intensity and their commitment and their passion for the game. It matches the heart and beauty of the country. So I definitely appreciate Colombian players. Um, I know he's 17, so that means that he can't join the team. He can't join Liverpool until he's 18. So I think he joins next year. Actually, he doesn't. He's not with the team this year. He's going to be joining next year, I think. But he'll be staying in South America and getting it done. I was hoping that we would have signed the German player, the German teenager. What is he? 15 years old. Um, um, Kenneth Eichhorn. Kenneth Eichhorn. I was hoping we'd see him join. I think that says 9 minutes. 7 minutes, excuse me, 7 minutes. 7 minutes of extra time. We're into the 92nd minute. I don't think we're going to see anything super, super crazy. 7 minutes added. Yep. Hyler, thank you. Hyler, Oliver's saying happy he has his hat trick. Oh, he's talking about Saka. Yeah, I really wanted to really see us get that wonder kid Icorn. I thought that would have been a good move. It's very similar to Gilberto Mora. I know some people aren't very bullish on bringing him in. I think I get very much like Chicharito vibes off of Mora. Look, I did not like Chicharito because he plays for my rivals internationally, and then also he plays for obviously our rivals club in club level. But Chicharito is a good player, and he is talented, crafty, and unfortunately an L tree and a red devil at heart. So bun him. But I would love to see us get our own version, maybe a better version, one that we can craft into a great player. So I think Mora has some real talent, real talent. I have him. I've spoken on this a couple of times. I have him on my football manager. I actually made a early transfer for him. This is long before Liverpool went or were even remotely interested in him. It was a big deal because again, I don't like going for Mexican players. Um, let's see. Um, Bayern Leverkusen are the team that Eichhorn is going to. By the way, if you're wondering, just had to look that up. Much imagination. I think that um, it could be. I don't. I'm not a big Richard Hughes supporter or fan of Richard Hughes. Um, I'm not a fan, but he has brought in some decent players, some very decent players. I don't think I don't wait. Was he? Let me hold on. Let me double check. He might be. I mean, like you could look at it this way. I know you're saying that you're saying blah 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 blah. Says what I'm saying. I don't consider Richard Hughes to have much imagination, nor do I believe he has his heart in the right place. We have another goal. Dembele. They're trying to make a really last ditch effort to make this a game. It's not going to really pan out that way because we're again only supposed to be going 7. This is the 6th minute of extra time. I think it's a little bit too little, too late. But Dembele, if you're like I said earlier, if you're playing that card, you would have possibly won some money if you put down Dembele scoring. I get that I get that I don't really like Hughes's approach to um, to what he's about to do, which is apparently go on to to Saudi Arabia. Excuse me. Um, I'm not really interested in someone that is using Liverpool as a as a profile builder and stepping stone for him to go off and get more money in a league that shows no ambition, absolutely no ambition. But um, but at the um, very same time, you have to give Hughes credit for the fact that not for his big time, his big acquisitions, but um, but you have to give him credit for the fact that he is responsible for Rio Nkamoa being a Liverpool player. I give him all the credit in the world for being the sporting director that brought that young man to be a Red. That was a fantastic deal. Um, oh, and Jude basically just got his. I wonder, does that now? Where is the? Let me look this up too. Uh, where are we at now? Where does that put him? Oh no, that's not. He's not getting anywhere close. Um, I think that brings. I think the two goals that Mbappe has him. Does that have him now leading in the Golden Boot? Does that have him leading the Golden Boot? Um, 10 goals in this game. 10 goals. Yes, that has him leading the Golden Boot. By the way, Kylian Mbappe is now um, uh, um, Mbappe has 9 goals. Okay, that we are done. Jude puts a absolute stamp on this for England. They get their third place finish. They now are as good as the Americans. No, I'm just joking. Um, let's see, let's see, let's see. Hey, you would think they would have. I mean, she's 10 goals in this game. That is wild. That is absolutely wild. Um, this can't be right. I'm trying to find out what the Golden Boot race is because it's definitely it is definitely taken a little turn. Excuse me. Um, Standings, no. Count, no. Top players. Whew. Excuse me again. Um, let's see. Yeah, Mbappe is now leading with 10 goals in the Golden Boot race. So Messi to share the Golden Boot will have to either get 2 goals in that final or get a hat trick to win the Golden Boot. Jude is in third place with 7 goals. He got a with that last goal, he got a seventh goal. Elise is surprisingly I didn't know Elise had 7 assists. That's incredible. 7 assists for Elise. That's fantastic. Well, people, 6-4 is the final. England is your victors. A lot of shots, a lot of shots. You can see that there. 19 shots for each team. 11 on target for England and 9 on target for France. Um, Not many corners, but still the same. Possession was close, 53-46. But 6-4 is the end of this game. I thought it was mildly entertaining. I would say, despite the fact that there's plenty of goals. So if you came here for goals, there were definitely plenty to get behind. Um, Obviously, Declan Rice started it off early in the third minute. Um, So, say if this game is going to be anything tomorrow, tomorrow's matchup is a little bit earlier of a start. I know it's late. I know it's just turned midnight for those in the UK watching us. There's 70 of you in the chat, so big up to all of you watching. I would say, I think the game is on at 8 p.m. tomorrow. So, I'm almost positive it's on at 8 p.m. I'll just double check though to make sure. UK time, at least, is on 8 p.m. I think, if you are in the UK. Let's see. Yes, 8 p.m. UK time. So, I will be going live after the World Cup. So I'll go live after the World Cup is over for like an hour or so or something, just to chop it up and talk some football with you guys to see if whatever happens. Um, leave a idea of who you think is going to be the winner tomorrow. Give us some score predictions. Um, can Messi go back to back with the Argentines, or will Spain return glory to Europe by bringing the World Cup trophy to Europe, and make España get another World Cup? That's a big question. Big question. A lot to answer tomorrow. I know that I will be. I have actually Spanish friends. I have actually my one of my ex-girlfriends. Her family is Spanish, so they've invited me over for this game. You know how that goes. So who knows how that's going to end up? Who knows? Um, uh, but we are going to go. But it's going to be good food, though. I'm excited about that. It's going to be a lot of good food, a lot of good Spanish food. So I'm going to go watch that tomorrow with them. Shout out to Chris, friend of the show. Obviously, the Bajan Red is himself represents Colombia, but Chris is going to the actual game. He's going to be going on to New Jersey, my home state. So, yes, if you run into Chris, say hello. And if Chris is listening to this now or later, or maybe if one of the Bayesian Reds are listening to this, they can pass it on to me. I can say hello to him too, um, I wish him he's probably already there, but a safe travel and an absolutely fantastic experience. I hope that he has at up there in North Jersey. Don't let them call it New York, by the way. It is not in New York City. It is in New Jersey, by the way. It is in New Jersey. Spain 2-1, Spain 2-0. Says Trudon says 2-1. Hylor says 2-0. Oliver is saying something to Hylor. No, I'm not. I am not. I am not Italian or nor Irish. But but uh, but yes, it will be something to see. I think tomorrow's going. I hope tomorrow's going to be a fun game. It's not going to be as many goals as you saw in this one, but I'm hoping that it's action. I'm hoping it's not some two teams trying to play defensive and figure each other out. Just go out there, play their games, and have some fun out there and bring home what they know and are capable of doing. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, maybe we get to see Munoz play. That'd be fantastic to see. Maybe him get a goal. Well, maybe Lexi McAllister gets back on the scoring sheet for Argentina and brings them a goal himself. So we'll see. We'll see. I know that there was what's I gonna do? Did I have a I thought I had a moment of Zen. I was gonna see if I did. I don't think I do have one right now. Um, but yeah, I don't have a moment of Zen. I'm sorry. I guess, I don't know if that's I don't know. I guess maybe you could do this. I'll do maybe this because I do appreciate the man, the myth, the myth, the legend himself. Um, Real quick before I bounce, let's do this. Let's do this. Muhammad Salah, the Egyptian king, has apparently Bex- Besiktas has reached a verbal agreement with Mohamed Salah for a 1 year contract with an option for an additional um, year. The former Liverpool forward will be paid. This is according to Anfield Edition. Former Liverpool forward will be paid 10 million euros a year plus 2 million in bonuses. That's apparently what is going down. Um, so, so yeah. So if that's true, then more power to you. I don't. I'd like to see him go on to MLS. To be honest with you, but we'll see. We'll see if that's true or not. We'll see. Um, yeah, I don't know. I know that Anfield Edition is a reputable thing. I don't know why they would put out things that are not reputable because I know David was in there, but all the same people. I'm gonna be out. I'm going to make the most. Oh yes, Salah. Yes, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Big up to Brian, Anfield Irishman. Hopefully, you're most likely already subscribed to him. I know a lot of the OGs here are, but if you're on listen to us on X, I don't know if he has a presence on X or not with his show, but uh, do venture over to here and join us. Uh, they're quote tweeting another journal. Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Um, do join us. Do join him. Join both of us on YouTube if you have the chance. Um, what else was I gonna say? Oh, that's about it. I'm about to wrap up the show here. Wrap up the show. That's so crazy. I was talking to Chris about what happened to Jean Duran or Duran. I think it's Duran. And apparently he's going to Benfica. He's the Colombian that uh, went to Saudi Arabia. The Colombian that played for Villa, then went to Saudi Arabia, had problems with the coach in at Villa, and then ended up going over there. Now he's joining Benfica. That's a wild one. It was a crazy game too, by the way. It was an absolutely crazy game. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Tomorrow, who knows? Hopefully we can see some good football and get ready for preseason is on the doorstep. So all right, tomorrow I will be again going live after the game. As long as my belly isn't too full, hopefully from Spanish food. So I will wish everyone great night, have a great evening, morning, afternoon, whichever is the case, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. everyone that joined me for this watch along, this impromptu watch along. Big up, everyone. Shout out to Anfield Irishman, like I said earlier. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Tafsir. And any else people that I did miss that I did already say hello, wasn't talking to actively. Yeah, I spoke to everyone else. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. I hope everyone has a great one. And take this down actually. And until tomorrow, definitely up the Reds each and every time. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys.